So how many people have heard about MDMA being researched for PTSD? This was the first phase 3 clinical trial ever conducted with any psychedelic drug. Published in 2021. In 2023, we saw the second one. And this was using this psychedelic-assisted therapy model to treat people who had either severe or treatment-resistant PTSD. There was an earlier study that looked only at military veterans and first responders, but for the phase 3 clinical trials, they were looking at all populations who had severe or treatment-resistant PTSD. So this is the results of the first phase 3 study. You can see that the blue are the folks, they didn't just get placebo. They got the MDMA-assisted therapy, but placebo-assisted therapy. The red line, of course, are the folks that got MDMA. So you can see the PTSD scores dropping pretty significantly. And these were folks who had some pretty severe PTSD. These are the 2 studies that went before the FDA last summer. So this was kind of the beginning of the indication that things were not going as planned. So whenever the FDA is going to consider the approval of a new drug, they appoint a committee of people to review the data who are not part of the FDA, and then that committee makes a recommendation whether to approve or reject the application. And unfortunately, at the end of that day, this commission recommended against the approval of MDMA. So that was June 4th, 2024. June 6th, 2024, a Dutch panel that had been doing several months of research on MDMA recommended the exact opposite. They looked at the data and they said, actually, we think that MDMA should be descheduled, it should be decriminalized, and we think that it should be available for PTSD. So in August, this was the final blow for this round, at least, where the FDA itself declined to approve MDMA for PTSD. And there were a lot of problematic issues in the way that they presumably were reasoning about their choice to reject this. But essentially, the battle is far from over. And so what's happening now is there's going to be another clinical trial, and there are a number of other clinical trials that are advancing, not necessarily looking at psychedelic agents for PTSD specifically, but for other conditions that we often see, particularly in military populations, things like anxiety and depression. So what went wrong here? Well, it depends on who you ask.